Hey YouTube, welcome to the last video of 2019. I thought it would be a good time while I'm watching some of the late football to be doing the last video as far as kind of recapping, doing a little bit of a pickups video as well, and a little bit of a Sunday randoms thing. So it's a little bit of a smorgasbord, a bit of a mix of a bunch of things. If you're just here just wanting to check out the pickups video, I'm going to do that right now just to get out of the way, and then I'm going to chat for a little bit. So, long story short, there wasn't a lot as far as this past week, but on Christmas Eve, actually, was the only day in the whole week that any mail came in. So nothing on Monday. Christmas Eve, a couple of packages came in where this stuff is coming from. And then there was nothing on Boxing Day. Boxing Day in Canada is December 26th. So on that day, there's no mail service. But there was nothing on the 27th. And I think, yeah, the 27th would have been the Friday. So that would have been the only other day you could have gotten mail. All of this stuff is from eBay. A lot of stuff from the Medano collection, and I do have something for the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. collection as well. So first thing we got here is a copy of the July 1999 Beckett Hockey Magazine. So this was actually a double-sided cover. So you got Medano on the one side, obviously. That makes sense. And then on the other side, you've got Dominik Hasek. And this was actually appropriately timed because the July 99 issue came on the heels of the 98-99 Stanley Cup final, where the Dallas Stars beat the Buffalo Sabres. So that's hence your double cover. I actually already had this issue lying around somewhere, but for some reason I couldn't find it. So I decided to pick it up since somebody had it on eBay fairly inexpensively. Not really counting towards my Medano count, but it was a good pickup just the same because I still wanted to have that cover in my collection. Next thing is actually kind of a cool card. It's a 5x7. Again, I need top loaders for these things because they're a little bit tricky. So this is 96-97. This is Upper Deck Collector's Choice. So this is the jumbo card, which is literally just a big version of the regular base card. So card number 69 is the base card, and as you can see, it is a perfect representation in every way from the regular card, but 5x7 copy. So for now, it's just in a big top loader, and I'm going to leave it, be careful with it for now. I'm going to figure out, probably get my hands on another top loader for that one. So next is still sticking to that late 90s theme. We got 97-98, which is my favorite year. So this is specific team checklists. So what happened is the Pacific brand, from all their different brands, they did have team checklists in a bunch of their different sets that year. So this is the base Pacific team checklist, which is actually pretty cool looking. So I'm going to try to angle this so that the shine doesn't, so that the reflection doesn't overdo it. So it's pretty straightforward, but as you can see, it's see-through, which is kind of cool. And then you got the logo in there, so you got kind of an ice effect going on there. Otherwise, it's a pretty basic card, and there you've got the different cards for this series. For some reason, I thought I already had this one lying around, so I was a bit surprised when I saw it in my it was still on my checklist. So, not expensive. It was pretty easy pickup, but I definitely wanted to get that one out of the way. And there are some more cards from the late 90s that are in a COMC order that are sitting there right now, waiting for me to get enough together. I want to get to 100 cards so that I can take advantage of the extra little shipping credit. So I'll be sitting on that. I've got about 80 of them in there right now, so it won't be long. I think in early January probably I'll start adding some more to that order, and if I get to 100, then I'll make the order. Next ones here are two Vladimir Guerrero cards for the collection. So this is the regular version of the 2019 Signature Series. So I've actually had a couple of these already that I've shown off on the channel. I have the pink version and the blue version, which I think is numbered to 99. So this is the base version, actually, which is pretty good looking. It's got kind of a nice refractory effect going. I don't know if I'm going to do a rainbow with these, but I'm kind of inadvertently doing it. So now I've got 3 of these, but I needed to have the base one, and here it is. It is a sticker autograph, but it is still a nice one none the same. And the price on these are falling down quite a bit since, like I said, still people have lower expectations now of Guerrero after his rookie season. And that's okay for me. It keeps the prices down, especially during this offseason. I'll probably try to pick up some more at least and take advantage of that. So this here is a Topps on Demand 3D. So this is, there's 2 copies. There's the, I guess, base card of the 3D, and then there's the one that's like the motion, the M1 motion card, the insert, I guess. Still a cool looking card, so hopefully, I don't know if the video will be able to pick it up very well, but it seems to be getting it a little bit. That's cool. So you can see you got kind of that 3D lenticular effect. So if you remember Sportsflix, that's kind of what's going on here with this thing. Very cool card, though. Really neat. I was kind of impressed with it. So from the 2019 issues, this is definitely kind of a cool one. A nice little addition to the collection. I think I have about 90 different Guerreros right now, including some autographs and all kinds of stuff, memorabilia. When I get into my collecting goals for 2020 in a second, that's going to be, I think, It's going to be kind of interesting to see where I take the Guerrero collection, because I really still want to focus on 2019, even as we go into the 2020 baseball season. I will still definitely pick up some stuff, but I think my focus will still stay on that rookie year for now, because there's plenty in there to put together a nice little collection. So that's it for the pickups. So if that's all you wanted to check out, thanks very much for watching. Have a happy new year. Outside of that, though, I'm going to chat a little bit about a couple of things, and then we're going to talk about my collecting goals, and then a little bit about where we went to this year on the channel. So I picked up a couple of stats from my that I went into my analytics just to jot down. This year I had 52 videos that I put up on the channel. This is actually number 53 for 2019, which is actually pretty good. I'm actually really happy with that. Even though I had a little break during the summer there for a little bit, that means I averaged about a video a week. So for 2020, I didn't include it in my collecting goals because it wasn't really a collecting goal. But I definitely want to shoot to do that again in 2020. I'd like to have about a video a week. If I can do more, then I'll do more. I think one thing that'll probably slide back into it will be some more box breaks. I did do a bunch of them in a very short period of time this past year, or it might have been last year. I want to say last year, maybe. Regardless, I did do a bunch of them in a short period of time, but what happened is that gets kind of expensive. So it won't be like that regular. It will come and go depending on whether I can get my hands on a product that's interesting. There'll probably be some baseball breaks and maybe a little football. I may throw in some hockey. It's like, you never know. A lot of it will depend on something like the Sports Card Expo. If I go to the Sports Card Expo and I get some late 90s hockey in there that's nostalgic for me based on the sets that I liked back then, maybe I'll pick it up and then I'll break it on the channel and give you a chance to see what it looked like. Stuff like that. And I've got different ideas, but it's going to really depend on what's out there and what I can get my hands on. So I'm not going to hoard a bunch of stuff just to make it into a box breaking channel, because that would require more of an investment than I'm willing to do. I'm still collecting, but I want to focus mainly on collecting the stuff I really want to collect, even though I do love opening the boxes and the packs. Second thing that really came in this year is that this year crossed over 1,000 subscribers, crossed over 1,100, 1,200, 1,300, and right now I'm sitting at about 1,382 subscribers as I record this video, which is crazy. It's been very impressive the way this year has gone. A little bit of it came because I got a little bit of a spike, getting a shout out from Eric at Those Back Pages. If you haven't checked out his channel before, I'd be surprised, but I'll include a link in the description as well, just so you have that. But that was part of it. And then also there was recently a spike because one of the things I mentioned in one of my Sunday Randoms videos talking about how I arrived at 1,000 subscribers, how the channel itself evolved, was that I still had a bunch of those podcast videos that I did back 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago now. And occasionally a couple of those get picked up and get some traction, and that actually happened a couple of weeks ago. It was funny because I was kind of sitting there, and I noticed that there was a spike in the amount of activity on the channel. And then I went back and I looked, and the different podcasts were just kind of like reviews of these different action movies. And the thing was that the one that for whatever reason picked up the most traction recently has been the little review we did of The Marine. And my question is, why The Marine? Out of all the movies, and we ended up doing, I think we did 46. And out of 46 different, why The Marine? It's the Marine and Universal Soldier that for some reason stand head and shoulders above all the rest. That just really went off. And because of that, the channel cleared a couple of other milestones, and now we're sitting at a little over 1.6 million views on the channel overall. So if you go look at my recent videos, you'll see like single-digit views or double-digit views. That would blow your mind, but some of those old videos still pick up a lot of traction from time to time. They'll get these little spikes, and it'll go absolutely crazy. For a little while, it was going nuts for a bit. So, with all that said, my thoughts for coming up in 2020 is going to be, I'm going to try to do about a video a week. It'll mostly be, there will be a pickup video most of the time. I'm not going to just buy stuff for the sake of buying stuff. But if there's something to do, definitely. I do want to come up with some more ideas that involve maybe talking about some sets that I like and things of that sort. And one of my goals here, if I achieve it, it'll be a good showcase video that'll definitely end up on the channel in 2020 if all comes to pass. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to do a little comparison because I did my 2019 collecting goals earlier in the year, and let's kind of see how I did with that. So I got it all written down here, and let's take a look. So one of the things that I was working on was the Jamie Benn 2009-2010, so the rookie year kind of project that evolved out of getting all the rookie cards. So I got all the rookie cards, I achieved that, and then I expanded it out to be the rookie year project because that was actually 100 cards even. Turns out there was actually 101 because there was a XRC, an extended rookie card that came from the previous season that rolled into 2009-2010. So I'm going to call it 101. My goal was to get to 60 cards, and I ended up getting to 59. I kind of stalled out because of other projects, but also a lot of the Jamie Benn cards from that are still way, way, way high priced, considering the fact that Jamie Benn himself really isn't playing that great, and he hasn't been for a while. It's been kind of a decline, unfortunately, for Dallas. I've been watching, it just really hasn't been clicking. This season especially, it just hasn't been very good. So we're one short of that goal. I'll look in 2020 at kind of carrying it over, and I'll talk about that goal here in a second. Second goal I had was Mike Modano certified autograph cards. I wanted to get to 100 different. We got there. We got there and then some. So we achieved that a couple of months ago. That was a pretty good pickup. I was pretty happy with that. Definitely one that I wanted to knock off the list, and we managed that one. Next one, it was also for a player collection. I had started a Carlos Delgado player collection, and I wanted to get 100 unique cards. I was expecting to pick up a little bit here and there, but I actually ended up picking up a 200 card lot. So I blew past that. So we definitely got to that one. That's definite check. Next one here on the list was related to 2018 Topps Chrome UFC. So I had some ideas and plans as far as that was concerned. So I wanted to get to 25 out of 33 on the autographs, on the Topps Chrome autographs from that series. I got to 22. I got some of the good ones and some of the tougher ones to find, but there are some that just for whatever reason haven't been coming up at all. I'm definitely going to be able to push closer to this goal in 2020, but it is going to be tricky, I will say, to go far past that point, because some of them I simply haven't seen. So we're going to see if some of them were even made, because a couple of them are a bit tricky. But nonetheless, we did manage to advance pretty good, close to it. I was shooting for 25 and I ended up at 22. So pretty close, not too bad. I wanted to do the 2018 Topps Chrome UFC base set from there because I opened up a couple boxes. I wanted to complete it. Well, the thing is, buying the singles is kind of dumb. I realized that a certain long way along the way. So I'll probably just get the base set. I may just pick it up as a lot on eBay or something. It would be actually less expensive to do that. The next one I do kind of want to do, but I'm going to de-emphasize it. I wanted to get the 50% of the UFC refractors from the 2018 Topps Chrome. You know, I don't really want to do a master set of 2018 Topps UFC Chrome, but I really did enjoy that set. So I may pick that up again later. But for now, I kind of left it off my list, but I didn't accomplish that one. From the vintage hockey, from vintage itself, I wanted to do two things that I was shooting for. I wanted to get to 50% of the 1960-61 Parker's hockey, which we got there. A little push at the end of the year, including the card show and some eBay lots and things. Blew me past that. So now I've got 32 out of 61. And I've got a really good shot at making a big dent into it in early 2020. So that was a good one. That was a check off the box. And the other thing I wanted to do was the 1954 Bowman baseball set that I've been working on for a while. I wanted to get to 90% by the end of the year. We're not going to get there. I do have 39 to go. So that is 82.6%. So I wasn't that far off. I think we'll definitely make a renewed push for that in 2020, and that's going to be one of the ones that's going to carry over. So those are the rest of the 2019 goals. We did pretty well, all things considered. So now on to the 2020 goals. A lot of it is going to be carried over, like I said, from before. So first one is the Jamie Benn collection. I didn't get to 60 this year, but I'm going to shoot for 62 in 2020. It doesn't sound like a lot, 3 cards really, but a lot of it really comes down to what I mentioned before. I still think the pricing is a little high. I will still try to pick up a couple through the course of the year, and we get to 62, I'm pretty happy. Anything beyond that will be icing on the cake. The second thing is I really put the hammer on re-emphasizing to get back into collecting Modano cards again. Really focusing, now that the certified autographs little subset is complete, now I'm just focusing in particular, one part of it is focusing on that late 90s group. So there's actually 600 cards that fall under the late 90s. So we're calling that from 1995 till 98, 99. I might include 99, 2000 later on, but we're including that little group there. So I want to get that checklist under 150, that specific checklist. So right now I've got about 278 to go. I haven't updated this in the last week or two, so it might be a little lower than that, but the goal is to get it under 150. So that's the next one that I'm working on here. And as far as the rest of the collection itself, I want to get over 1,400 total Modano cards by the end of 2020. So that is my goal as far as that is concerned. Totally doable. I think it's going to be relying a lot on COMC and picking up some lots from folks on eBay, because there's still a lot of inexpensive ones that I haven't picked up. Some base cards and things like that. I'll be targeting a little bit of that as my challenge going into 2020. Right now I'm sitting at like 1140. So it gives me about 200 cards and change will get me there in 2020. Which sounds like a lot, but you can get nice batches of them in fairly short order. It's not so bad. Next one for the Delgado collection. I want to get past 500 cards. Again, totally doable. You would just get them in batches, and I think that will get me there. I think that one's fairly attainable. Those two are just kind of keep things interesting and to give me something. Most mail days will probably contain one of those two things that helps me kind of chip away at both goals, and it keeps things interesting. Next one I want to do here is for the 2018 Topps Chrome UFC autographs. I want to get to 25 different. So that's the same goal I had for last year, but we're gonna pick up a few more this year to get this upcoming year to get us to 25. I don't know, like I said, if I'm going to be able to finish it. A lot of it is really going to come down to whether I can find certain cards that just don't seem to be out there, and I don't know if they're just short printed, really short printed, if Topps was able to get it to the people in time or at all. I guess I just don't know if they exist. So for now, I'm going to go with the official checklist, which is 33 cards, but I don't know if there's actually 33 cards out there. So we're going to find out. And two more goals that I included on my list here are vintage related. They're the same ones that I had last time, but I've adjusted the numbers. So for 1960-61 Parkhurst, I want to complete the set in 2020, which is totally doable, I think. I've made some really good progress, and I've picked up some of the key cards already. As part of my PSA submission as well from the card show, I'm also picking up some of the major players I'm getting them PSA graded. I've already got the Howe, I've already got Terry Sawchuk, and there's some ones that are going to be part of that order, and hopefully when it comes in, I'll do a submission reveal. That'll be one of the videos, I think, probably in 2020. So we'll see when that comes inside. And then the next thing is the 1954 Bowman. I want to complete that set too. So really what I'm shooting for is to complete those two vintage sets, and then I want to kind of do a little bit of a showcase. With the 54 Bowman, I may also do a couple of upgrades, but I'm not including that as part of my goals. So I think it's really good to have goals because it gives you something to focus on. So this right here is going to be kind of my playbook that I'm going to be working off of in 2020. I'm going to focus in on these and kind of keep myself accountable by focusing on those. Now, one thing you'll notice is that I didn't mention anything there about the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. collection. And part of that is because I don't really have a set goal for that. I really want to put the focus on those things that I put on that list. But if the opportunity presents itself and I see some good Guerreros, especially during this off-season time, I'll pick them up, but I'm not going to put any restriction or any kind of pressure on myself to pick up anything. It's really going to be if the price is right. I've got most of the cards that really interested me. There are a few that I still want to pick up, and I'm going to look for the right deal. Now that the prices have come down to earth a little bit, it's going to be a little easier, but I don't want to wait until the new year starts just in case he does get a little bit hot and then the things pick up again. I do want to pick up some of the rarer ones during this off season and take advantage of this downtime. So that's the 2019 goals and how I did. The 2020 goals and how we're shooting for. I already mentioned that for the channel, I want to do about a video a week coming up in the new year. And as far as that's concerned, that is the majority of what I wanted to talk about. The last thing I'm going to mention is Happy New Year to those of you who have been watching. I appreciate any videos you've checked out, any comments you've left. If you've left a like, that's been awesome. Thank you. One of the other things is that it was funny because I finally was able to record this video. I wouldn't have been able to record it about a week ago because I started off the holiday. I had 2 weeks off for the holidays. So this is the end of my first week off, and then I've got the next week off before I head back to work. And this year's been kind of interesting because I did start a new job. I did that. And then with the 2 weeks off here, I started off kind of on a bad foot because the first Friday heading out of work, I wasn't feeling that great. And it turned out I had the flu, which basically knocked me out for about 4 days. So that was the beginning of my holiday. I was able to feel a little bit better by Christmas Eve, and then Christmas I was able to get through it. But it's only the last day or so that I've kind of started to feel a little bit more alive. So that my last video actually was a pickup video, and I had the camera turn around. I had to edit out myself having some coughing fits, actually, because I was already starting to kind of feel bad. That's why the video was very, very short, and it was facing away from me. Hopefully in the new year, there'll be a combination. There'll be some videos where it's going to face out and I'm going to be doing something, or that it's going to be looking back this way. And it's just going to depend on the video and what the context is. As far as other things are concerned, I think that's it for now. hopefully you have your own goals and your own things that you're going to pursue in the new year. I really think that keeps the hobby interesting. I'll leave it at that. Best of luck in any goals or anything you've got going on personally or in the hobby-wise in the new year. With the whole Copa thing, we're going to see what happens. Now that we're rounding out 2019, I think things have settled down a little bit, but we're going to see what 2020 looks like. I'm kind of excited to get started on a new decade and a whole bunch of new things to pursue and to look into. And I'm hoping to include this channel as part of the things that I'm doing. So with that said, thanks again. Have a happy new year. Enjoy the rest of your holidays. And we will catch you in the new year. Have a good one.